Slick talker since a jet.
Wintertime, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag, disrespectful, and I'm rude.
Hi guys. Today I'll discuss the story of action movie film The Equalizer II. Former Marine and DR operative Robert McCall, Denzel Washington, now lives in a diverse apartment complex in Roxbury, Boston. He works as a Lyft driver and assists the less fortunate with the help of his close friend and former colleague at the CIA, Susan Plummer. McCall travels to Istanbul to retrieve the 9-year-old daughter of a bookstore owner, Grace Braylick, who was kidnapped by her abusive Turkish father, as a means to punish Grace. He also helps Sam Rubenstein, an elderly Holocaust survivor who is looking for a painting of his sister. The siblings were separated in the Nazi death camps and the painting had been auctioned off. After discovering the apartment's courtyard has been vandalized, McCall accepts an offer from Miles Whitaker, a young resident with an artistic but troubled background, to repaint the walls. Susan and DR officer Dave York, who is McCall's former partner, are called to investigate the murder-suicide of an agency affiliate and his wife in Brussels. At their hotel, Susan is accosted in her room and killed. It is believed that she died during a robbery by two men who got off the elevator on her floor. When he receives the news, McCall begins to investigate both her death and the case she was working on. McCall determines that the suspect's foreknowledge of her flaw and the expertly delivered fatal stab suggested that she was targeted. He also confirms that the incident Susan was looking into was staged to look like a murder-suicide, and that Susan's death is probably connected to it. McCall makes contact with York while he is jogging in Washington and informs him of his findings. Later, McCall rescues Miles, who had been lured away by a local gang. Miles then visits McCall, and McCall agrees to pay Miles to repaint his kitchen if Miles reads Ta-Nehisi Coates' Between the World and Me. During one of his Lyft runs, McCall is attacked by an assassin posing as a passenger. McCall kills the man and retrieves a mobile phone, dumping the car and burning it. He discovers that York's number is on the phone's call list and confronts York at his home. York admits that he became a mercenary after feeling used and discarded by the government and adds that he himself killed Susan, as she would have figured out that he was behind the Brussels killing. McCall leaves the house where the rest of McCall's former squad, who are also York's current teammates, Kovac, Ari, and Resnick, are waiting. McCall promises to kill the entire team before departing safely by getting a ride from York's unsuspecting wife and children. Resnick and Ari head to Susan's house to kill her husband Brian, but McCall helps him escape. York and Kovac break into McCall's apartment, where Miles is painting the walls. Monitoring the apartment via webcams, McCall directs Miles to a passage concealed behind a bookcase. When York seems to close in on the passage's two-way mirror, McCall phones him to taunt him. Miles emerges from hiding shortly after York and Kovac seem to leave, but is captured as he opens the apartment's front door. York deduces that McCall has gone to his seaside hometown, which has been evacuated as a hurricane approaches. Kovac, Ari, and Resnick begin searching the town in gale force winds, while York situates himself on the town's watchtower in a sniper's position. Kovac enters a tackle shop, where McCall kills him with a harpoon gun. When Ari heads toward the seaside, he is disturbed by pictures of Susan that he sees along the way. Catching him off guard, McCall butchers him with knives. McCall then enters his late wife's old bakery store to lure in Resnick, who is fatally injured in a flour explosion that is set up by McCall and set off by Resnick's own stun grenade. York reveals that he has Miles tied up in the trunk of his car and begins shooting at it to lure McCall out. With the storm growing heavier, York is knocked down by a gust of wind before being confronted by McCall atop the tower. McCall gets the upper hand, popping one of York's eyeballs, slicing the tendons in his limbs, stabbing him in the heart and severing his spinal cord. McCall then kicks York's body off the tower onto the rocks below, where it is washed away by the ocean. Back in Boston, Susan's information about Sam's painting helps McCall reunite Sam with his long-lost sister. Miles finishes painting his mural on the apartment complex's brick wall, returns to school and focuses on his art. Having moved back into his old house, McCall looks out towards the calm sea. That's the story plot of the movie. Thank you for watching. Bye.